second Trump administration. Rather than serve out remainder his term, McCarthy will resign from House of Representatives before end year, ending his 17-year tenure in Congress, with Thursday being last scheduled session day for House this year. Former Speaker made farewell rounds, including farewell speech on House floor, photo line to take photos with employees, and an intimate, hour-long conversation with small group of reporters in secret Capitol office. Asked how he felt, McCarthy said, "It's a little bit bittersweet." McCarthy may be hanging his hat the House of Representatives, but he's not ruling out a possible job in Washington the future. Asked if he would take another job public service, perhaps in the Trump White House, McCarthy said, "Yes, I believe public service." With one foot out the door and his days in Congress numbered, McCarthy has not held back in his criticism of some GOP colleagues, including Gaetz, who is leading the push to oust him. McCarthy has long alleged that Gaetz led the effort to oust him out of anger over the Ethics Committee's investigation of him, a charge he repeated on Thursday which Gaetz denies. He was psychotic, McCarthy said of Gaetz, referring the Florida Republicans' request that the threshold for a motion discharge be lowered one member. This was a request that McCarthy agreed to, leading his eventual expulsion. People study these kinds of crazy minds, right? At another point in the conversation, McCarthy added, "First of all, the FBI," referring to Gaetz. In response to McCarthy's comments, Gaetz said thoughts and prayers for the former congressman. Gaetz added, "We went through a process. He then chose to take his ball and go home and our majority was reduced." Kevin's early departure shows that this is all about personal power for him, even though he no longer holds gavel and is exiting the House. McCarthy couldn't help but analyze how House GOP leadership currently operates and offered some criticism of new Speaker Mike Johnson without naming him specifically. McCarthy said he negotiated directly with President Biden over the summer over the debt ceiling agreement to avoid demoralizing other congressional leaders, and compared that strategy to Senate negotiations on Ukraine financing and border policy. If you're watching, there's a movement where president needs step in, because president needs to cut deal in order for Democrats vote, McCarthy said. But we should be in a place where we're waiting to see what the Senate gets. We should meet with the president, McCarthy said, openly criticizing Johnson. McCarthy also said he would handle a bill to provide aid to Israel differently than Johnson. The House of Representatives passed a measure in November matching $14 billion in aid to Israel with major cuts to IRS funding that Democrats approved as payback last year, prompting harsh criticism from liberals. "What I would do is never put a payment in the Israel aid bill," McCarthy sighed.